I was born in Iran, and I lived there for 10 years. I was from a village, so I guess you could call me a farmer. I farmed a lot. I was little. Even when I was younger, I was little for my age, and I would carry out like the shovel, because we had unlike here, we didn't have a sprinkler system. We had a route system where we would direct the water ourselves. So that was pretty much my job. I would go lay down in the field, and then once the water was coming in, I direct it in certain ways so all the plants would get enough water. I wasn't really into school back then. I mean, I'm in college right now, but like in Iran, it wasn't like a big deal. My parents were always telling me we're gonna go to America, and that's when you really need to focus on school. So once I came here, my focus definitely shifted more towards school, and I wasn't doing as much other things. In sports, in Iran, I played soccer. I just with friends, nothing serious. When I came here, I tried it in high school, played for a little bit, for maybe, I want to say 2 years, and then I tried wrestling for a month, and that's actually how I got into jiu-jitsu. Once I hit 18, I went and signed up for jiu-jitsu just because there's nothing left for me. High school was over and there was no wrestling. I tried jiu-jitsu for I want to say 3 months, and my coach was like, no, I think you should try a tournament. And it was for white belts, the nationals. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, it's my first tournament, we'll see how it goes. And I just jumped in. My mentality was like, I've been training for 3 months. These guys better beat me up, you know? If I win one, I'm good here. I don't have to prove anything. And I ended up winning all 5 matches straight and winning the tournament. And from there, I was kind of hooked. I couldn't wait for the next tournament, and I just kind of went from there. And 2 years later, I get my purple belt, and I do my first MMA fight. And I didn't do amateur because at the time there was no insurance around amateur. I jumped straight into pro. One of my jiu-jitsu coaches, Homo Bahal, he asked me to help out one of his former teammates, Alberto Crane. He's fought in the UFC before, and he was getting ready for a fight, and I was the same way. They asked me to help him out. I jumped in there, and I was training with him. And a week later, another one of my coaches calls me, Jiu-Jitsu Bruno Paulista, and he tells me, hey, I got a fight. And I assumed it was for him because he had just fought, and I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, that's cool, I'll help you whatever you need. He's like, no, I got a fight for you. You're fighting in a month. And I was kind of, at first I was like, can I call you back? I kind of put the phone down. I was trying to find excuses why I shouldn't fight, and there really wasn't anything there, so I just kind of jumped on it. The first fight was something I can't even explain. I felt like I stepped in and I stepped out. It was kind of just all scramble. I watched the fight too, it was just scrambling. It was very back and forth. It turned out to be a split decision. I was so nervous that I don't remember what happened. In the beginning, I felt really calm going into it, but I had like over 100 friends and family members there. As soon as I heard them screaming, my heart kind of dropped. All of a sudden, you know, I was warming up, and then I started sweating even more. Like I was like, whoa, sweating like crazy. And it just, the fight was, that was the worst thing of my life, worst experience and best experience. I think that probably made me a lot tougher. Most of my friends, they make fun of me for it, but they also like praise me for it. But I don't actually drink. I don't drink, and when I go out, I try to keep my friends, the same group of friends. I feel it's very important to be close with a certain group and not try to go out too much. If I do, I actually hang out mostly with my jiu-jitsu friends and my friends from Kings. At this point in my life, I don't even like believe in violence. The reason why I do this is because I like perfecting my technique. I haven't been in any kind of confrontation in 6 years. We still have that basic instinct, and I think everyone has it. We could try to fight it and pretend we don't have it, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. We don't have to use it outside, you know, but why not use it for our competition if we have it? And I think for me that's the most enjoyable thing, proving that I could, you know, with perfect technique, with perfect strength, I could beat another human being. This is actually something I've been struggling with for a long time. When I started competing in jiu-jitsu, I won the worlds as a blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and gi and no gi. And now I just recently got my black belt, and I've had 3 pro fights and I'm undefeated. I have this problem now. I don't know where to go. I'm stuck in between the two. I'm in a very weird place where I'm trying to train 6 months of the year for an MMA fight, 6 months of the year for jiu-jitsu. But what happens is the transition is very difficult. Once I come off of jiu-jitsu, I'm very rusty for MMA. It takes me a long time to get back into it and get comfortable. And then same thing with jiu-jitsu. Once I go back, again, it's very difficult. So if for me right now, the hardest part is just to pick one, and I'm struggling with it.
Do you think that's what you're going to have to do? You are going to have to focus on one?
Pick one. If not, I'm going to end up being. I'm not going to be average because I train every day. It's my job. I'm going to be a little bit above average, but I'm never going to be the best at both, and that hurts. I want to be the best.
Now, what are your reasons? What do you think some of your reasons are for fighting?
Nothing feels like it. Everybody has something they enjoy more than anything. Well, at least I hope they do, because if you don't, I don't know how you live your life, you know? I think everybody has something that helps them, makes them stress-free. For me, when I'm training, when I'm fighting, it's when I'm happiest. I could not do anything in my life and just train all day and night, and as long as I have my family and friends close by, I would be completely happy, so that's why I do it.
Very cool. Do you feel that training and fighting has changed you as a person?
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't have a temper anymore, mostly because I'm so tired all the time, and I don't really go out too much. I just kind of, I think it's pushed me in a new way. I used to drink in high school. I tried it for a little bit, and I didn't really like it. And then as soon as I started martial arts, it was a reason for not to even go back to it, and I just stuck with it. I got my black belt like a month ago. That to me was it's a big deal. It's still a shock to me when I think about it, black belt, you know. So that would definitely be the biggest accomplishment. I feel like I graduated like college or something.